It's a special edition of Bianca's Angels this morning, Terry and Bobby. Thank you so much. I'd like to welcome double income, no kids, Maria, and mother of 3 teenage daughters, and cough, cough, opposition leader, Deb Frecklington. Welcome. Good morning, Angels.
Thank you, Bianca.
Good morning. Great to be here.
This is a classic topic this morning. I am dying to know what you guys think about this. There is a growing movement for women over 30 to stop making new friends as it's too much to take on and handle. Do you get to an age where you're happy with the amount of friends you've got? As I can jump in and say that I do get stressed that I don't keep up with my older friends sometimes because I just can't. But then I've also made some new friends in the last 2 years that I adore and will be friends for life. And they know the 44-year-old me and they get the 44-year-old me. Whereas sometimes the friends that I knew when I was 19 don't get me.
No.
So how can you sort of shut that off? How can you cap it? What do you think, mother of 3 teenage daughters, opposition leader Deb Frecklington?
Well, I agree with you, Bianca. I think you keep making friends. The one thing I would say, though, is we're also time poor, aren't we? Yeah. So we're constantly stressing that we're not being able to catch up with our friends. Having said that, social media is excellent for that and is keeping me in touch with a lot of my old friends.
Yeah.
But I think you make new friends each and every day, and the day that we stop trying to make friends is a really sad day. So, look, I've met you two today.
Oh,
you never
besties.
know. We might be wine buddies by this Friday night.
Oh, is it too
I'll
early
wait for
for
Friday
one now?
night.
Is it too early for one now? My mum always said to me that you have a friend in your life, double income, no kids, Maria, you have a friend in your life for every slice of the pie of who you are as a person. You might have your wine friend. You've got your girlfriend that's got kids, so you talk to her about that kind of thing. You've got your girlfriend that loves reading books. You shouldn't rely on just one friend to be everything to you.
No, there's a saying that I heard that I like, that friends are either there for a season, a reason, or a lifetime.
Yeah,
I think that's how, friends get categorised a little bit like that. Like I said, I've got a girlfriend that I've been friends with from high school and all my uni friends, and we have a great time together. They still know me as I am, but I meet people along the way that do know a different me. Like, I'm very different from the 25-year-old woman to as I am as a 50-year-old.
Yeah.
So, but I don't really grow up. We've mentioned that before on the show. I just have this spice for staying young, that growing old is compulsory, growing up is optional.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to march to that drum for as long as I can. So as many friends as I can bring along that march, I will. So, yeah, I keep collecting them like a squirrel.
I think that's great. Put those nuts in the tree. That's where mine stay. Teachers have straight up said in a recent study that they're feeling helpless to stop bullying in schools. There's way too much red tape and lack of support for them. I guess in some situations they're scared to take action because they could then again get action taken upon them. And it's a scary world out there with bullying. Look, double incomes, no kids, Maria, with no kids. But were you bullied at school? And what do you think about this?
Yeah, I was bullied at school. I came from a poor upbringing, so we didn't always have the finest clothes on. And I remember one particular instance where this girl stood on my toes and pushed me over because that was the best way to intimidate me.
Oh, terrible.
And it wasn't really anything to do with the parents or the school at the time, because I don't think you actually notice those sorts of things. But yeah, I was teased for being, single dad, no mum and things like that. Did it affect me, or did I get stronger by that? Look, my dad and my mum love me extraordinarily, so I sort of just pick myself up and go, well, that person must be really unhappy, but I'm really happy. You still wear the scars, I guess, if you think about it. And as far as teachers go, look, sometimes we take them away from the real thing that they want to do, which is teach children. Now they've got to walk, playground duty, they've got to stay back and mark, they've got to do all sorts of things, and now they've got to be counsel for children being bullied. We just need to staff them up a bit better.
They're becoming psychologists, I guess. Well, they always have been in some way. I think mother of 3 teenage daughters and opposition leader Deb Frecklington, you're definitely going to have something to say about this. Teachers are saying they feel helpless to stop bullying in schools.
Yeah, look, and this is such a big issue, but I think it has always been an issue. Bullying has been around forever. It's just coming in different forms now, and it's so difficult with the advent of the amount of kids that have mobile phones in schools. And I'm for one, a mum and a politician that doesn't believe that our kids should have phones at schools. I just think that it shouldn't be there. There are many teachers that support me in that as well.
We survived, didn't we?
We did survive. And you know what? If you don't have a phone at school and you need urgently picking up, you go to the front office and you say, hey, can you ring dad or mum? Or I need a hand. So that's how it happened in the past. I feel sorry for teachers because I think it's very difficult for them to do the job that they've got to do. We've got this hugely crowded curriculum with
there's so much teachers have got to push into these poor kids. We've got all this extra testing, and we're being benchmarked against everything instead of just letting kids be kids. And then we've got this bullying that's going on in social media land, and teachers quite often aren't aware of that.
No.
And I will admit, just because they don't have a phone at school won't stop bullying, but it will hopefully allow these kids to start talking face to face a bit. I mean, I walked into one of my girls' schools one day, and they were in, Elkie was in about year 6, they're sitting around in a circle, and all these kids weren't talking to each other. They were just, had thumbs out on their phones.
Isn't
And
that sad?
it's so sad. You just need to, particularly I think, at break time, so lunch and morning tea or whatever, get the kids off their phones. Like,
Get them out, yeah.
Get them out. And look, I know parents are concerned. They want to keep in contact with their kids. I mean, I'm probably a bit more on the tough love side of things when it comes to my kids, because I just genuinely think that this is a really hard world that they're growing up in, and they've just got to toughen up a bit.
Some good advice there. Double income, no kids, Maria, mother of 3 teenage daughters, and opposition leader Deb Frecklington, my special edition Angels. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Been a pleasure. Thanks,
It's been
Bianca.
great to be here.
Woohoo.